Are we live? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Nooner Nation.
Hola.
I'm Jake. This is Charlie. This is our first time running solo on this show. So, what is up, motherfuckers?
Bill is out this week with the sickness.
He's down with the thickness this weekend. So, yeah, we don't really know.
David
It's
Draymond.
Christmas. It's that like sickness that everyone seems to get right before Christmas, which is fucking beautiful.
It's
So,
gonna happen. Fuck it. You don't want to do anything on Christmas anyway. Nature finds a way of like, oh, I'll make sure you won't do anything.
it's like that only
You
2 weeks you
could.
get off a year, you're not gonna enjoy it.
You're gonna be sick and it's gonna suck. Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
What is up, live chat? How y'all doing this week?
Hola, chat.
Fucking love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. So, Charlie, what
Yes.
I saw you had some pretty interesting looking drink there today. What's that? I see some red balls.
Red balls. It's cranberries that I washed and put in the freezer. So they are acting as ice as well as looks. I
Fucking
kept seeing those, like, what were they called? Something claws. Um, the
power
white
claws.
claw.
The
Like the
surge.
white claw with the vodka, and they were putting cranberries in them, and I was like, ooh,
That
I'll just make my
sounds.
own. And the cranberries are they're on sale right now, so I was like, well, that's perfect. Fuck it. And I've never actually like had a cranberry before. They are terrible.
Yeah, no, they're like extremely bitter. They're not sweet at all. They're kind of
Nope.
hard.
They are just super unpleasant.
I could hear you
That's
crunching away. Like that's how crunchy that cranberry is. It's just
I mean the texture is okay, but it yeah, no, it's just so bitter. So that's a fun thing that I keep doing to myself.
well,
But it's pretty. So there's
hey,
that.
you're pretty and bitter, just like that drink, Charlie. So
Is that why I like them so much? Because they remind me of myself.
and it gets you in the Christmas spirit, just being around something else like you.
Right. That is definitely how I roll. And I I am that. I am a Leo and I definitely hold true to the Leo tropes, which is why like I realize if like see things in other people that I do myself, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I absolutely love you." And I'm like, oh, "Charlie, stop it. Stop it."
Yeah, no.
Well,
So,
yeah, that's a
fuck,
fun thing about me.
where was I going with that? Oh my god, I had an idea for how to roll with that, but I god
Did
damn
I
it.
ramble on so long that you forgot your point?
No, no, it was the. I don't know if it's the pre-roll or this pirate water that I picked up, but these are $2 and 10% alcohol. So
I hadn't seen those before.
I guess they're
Pirate waters.
Barstool.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interessant.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it tastes interesting. It tastes like 10%. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, is it 10% because it's in the 16 ounce? Do you think that makes a difference?
I was
Like,
more thinking that this was their competitor to other podcast seltzers.
no, I'm just saying, like, it's a 16-ounce can, right? So do you really
Yeah.
think it's like that's quite a bit? Well, I guess it's only 4 ounces more than normal, but mm, mm,
Fuck you, Elijah. You know what? Not everyone can afford like a $300 bottle. I don't know what you drink, but start sending some money me and Charlie's way so we can have some decent booze on this show if you're going to complain about what we drink. Love you, buddy.
Hey, it's called Taste Like Chicken. I'm drinking Danaka now, and when I buy a $40 bottle of vodka and it tastes exactly like the $9.99 bottle, why am I going to pay the $40? It's fucking vodka. It's not that good to begin with. It's not going to get that great. I don't care to spend extra money on marketing more than what's in the bottle itself. So I don't care. Like
We
Grey
don't
Goose
care who owns
tastes like
it. We don't.
shit and it's expensive. I've never tried Belvedere, and because the whole Ukraine Russia dumb bullshit, I can't get my good Russian vodkas anymore. And let's be honest, the only decent vodka you're gonna buy comes from Russia. So right now, like, I'm not going to spend more than $10 on a bottle of vodka because it's all bullshit anyway.
In this house, we only support the Russians when it comes to vodka, right?
I mean, I mean, you're not supporting their government by saying that. You're just supporting
The people.
yeah, right? The fucking citizens who work at these companies and make it. And then, the companies that I don't know how their fucking economy works, and I don't give a shit to learn. I just know it's not supporting their government because they're not communist anymore, so it's not government owned. I can only assume. Once again, I don't give a fuck to get that far into it.
But don't insult her taste like chicken vodka, right?
I mean, it's like, once again, I had the $40 Stoli in my freezer. I was drinking that at the same time as I tried the Taste Like Chicken. Literally could not tell a difference. So it all tastes like rubbing alcohol. And it's just like, which one tastes like better rubbing alcohol? Like,
Which one
fuck
has been
off.
filtered more times?
It's vodka. And then when I drink bourbon, I drink old fashions, and I looked up old fashions and why they were created. And they were created because the bourbon back then tasted like shit. And so they, used a whole cube of sugar with the bitters to make it taste less shitty. So I'm like, okay, well, when you make it old fashioned, you don't use good bourbon because the it wasn't made for that. And so if you're using good bourbon to make it old fashioned, you're basically wasting that. So I use Jim Beam when I drink old fashions because it's a shittier bourbon that you make taste better by the bitters, and then with the introduction of the orange peel and the cherry and all the frills. But
Have you ever had anyone fuck up an old fashioned for you?
well, that's another thing. I don't order shit like that out a lot of the time because
Mm.
like
Because
I
people fuck them up. Like I'll go into
exactly, and
into my
you're
story on this
paying
one. Like
you're paying so much fucking money that it's just kind of like, no, no, no. I'm just going to get something basic out, and so that way I get my actual money's worth. Because if I can make it better at home, and then I'm paying 12 fucking dollars for it out, like, you want to know it's going to be good. But then again, like, I don't do it with the sugar, but no, I don't give a shit about. I mean, I don't know, alcohol. Not all alcohols are considered equal, but just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's good at the
so
same
Charlie's
time.
a star racist and an alcohol racist, all right?
Star?
Yeah, because you were talking about astrology, saying that you're a Leo.
No, I mean, I was just kind of, it's a funny thing to talk about, but I mean, some things are a little true. Like, would I
Like the
rather look
thing
at
Jessica
myself or
sent in the
someone
chat.
else? I'm gonna look at myself. Sorry, not sorry. But
Yeah, no, I got quiet earlier because Jessica sent something in the chat about Aquariuses, like from the '70s, and I was like, "Oh God, fuck you all." I feel attacked. I'm gonna stay quiet. Yeah, no, so it's been quite the fucking year on this show. Like we started in April with Bill,
No shit. Yeah, this year was something. Went by super quick, crazy quick. And I thought it was like all the COVID bullshit that made like the other years feel super fast. No, no, no. Apparently that had nothing to do with it. It's just like getting older and time just means less in your older years, and then it just never stops.
The eternal crush as you munch on cranberries with a cat on your lap.
It's basically eating my future. Bitter.
Yeah, no, so fucking Christmas is in like what, 4 days? 5 days? 4 days? I don't know. I don't know what day of the week it is, to be honest, people. I just know
It's the
because I'm here, it's
21st, so
Thursday.
4 days, yeah.
God damn. What do
This is
you what
going to be a very depressing episode. I can just feel it in my balls.
I'm trying, Charlie, I'm trying.
I am not.
Where's
let's
my
let's get down with the sickness. Let's just go with it.
life sucks. It's all an eternal march. We're all gonna fucking die.
What's the point of anything?
Well, we're being depressing, but we're actually gaining viewers on this one, so we'll just keep going with the fucking
Time to bring out my Jim Jones monologue. Now that I have everyone's attention,
she's a captive audience for her manifesto right now, guys, just so you know.
will you all drink some Kool-Aid with me?
It's a vodka cranberry.
Shut up. They don't need to know what's in mine. They just need to know what's in theirs. And what's in theirs is Kool-Aid and rat poison. It's fine. You won't die.
Bill's asking in the chat what everyone's favorite Christmas movie is, and me and Charlie are over here talking about drinks with rat poison in them.
I'm busy, Bill. Shut the fuck up. This isn't your show anymore. It's mine. And I'm asking all of our viewers to get out your rat poison and your Kool-Aid and mix those babies up together. And let's really have a Christmas that will last forever. Come on, folks. You know,
Charlie needs another drink, guys. So like, if you guys just want to like open up Cash App and just start Cash App in the show.
I'm busy, Jake. I was getting in it, getting intimate with the viewers, and you were throwing me off.
I'm just trying to make sure no one adds to that Christmas statistic because of your little monologues.
How dare you?
So yeah, what's everyone's favorite Christmas movies? Oh, Bill corrected you, Charlie. It was Flavor Aid, not Kool Aid.
Flavoring. Well, it'll be look, it can be Kool-Aid now. It's fine.
So is your cult better because you used like actual name brand Kool Aid instead of the fucking off brand Flavor Aid?
Yes.
Come on, you gotta sell it. Don't question the answer. You gotta really sell this, Charlie. If you want people to do this with you, you gotta be like, we're doing name brand Kool Aid. We're using the fucking name brand rat poison. We're pulling out all the stops on this one. We are not going cheap.
Right. Yes. There's also Gatorade powder too. So if you don't like Kool-Aid, you
What
can
flavor Gatorade powder are we going here? Like, are we going like
lemon lime.
orange?
You have to go old school. Old school. There will
Isn't
be
old school
cheeses.
orange?
Hmm?
Isn't the old school powder like the orange flavored?
I don't know. I just the lemon lime is old school to me, so I called it that.
Hmm.
So Man, Christmas movies. That's something I've been thinking about here lately. Like, what is the best Christmas movie? I've seen many, but I don't have one that's like my go-to. Or if I do, I've watched it so many times in my life that I'm like, I can't fucking sit here and watch this because I know it too much.
Do you do the drunk 24 hours of a Christmas story on Christmas Eve?
I wasn't grown up with that, so like I fucking hate the Christmas story, I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa.
I didn't see it for the first time until I was in the 7th grade and I was like, people like this shit? Oh. Hmm. So yeah, there's that.
Deep and Justin is saying Donnie Darko. Is that one of those ones that's technically a Christmas movie? Or are they talking about something else in the chat right now? I don't know what's more unhinged sometimes, our chat or the show.
Both. It's probably both, just at different times. So one of my favorites was Just Friends, but I've been watching it since I was like 14 years old, and now like I can like watch the whole movie in my head without actually watching it, so I don't really want to rehash that. But like, I absolutely love like The Holiday and Love Actually. But once again, like you watch those so many times over the years, it's just like I fucking have I know the fucking story already.
Which is the one with Vince Vaughn. It's like,
Four Christmases.
yeah, no, that one was like one that when I was growing up was a big one too that we'd watch all the time.
Mhm.
Where it just got so overplayed, I just can't fucking watch it, and I fucking hate Vince Vaughn because of it.
Right? And then I've never seen Die Hard. So that is one I need to do.
Have you seen Fat Man?
Oh, yes. I saw that 2 years ago. Batman one's very good. Violent Night, I really liked. I saw that one last year in the theater. But even then, like trying to rewatch it for the first time, I was like, no, it's like I remember it too well. And so I don't want to watch it. So I'm really struggling this year with
Have you
like,
seen Krampus?
yes, I watched that one in theaters too.
Not too
It
big a
was
fan.
it was okay, I guess. Honestly, I love the American Dad Krampus episode. I think it's like season 9.
Is it the one where Stan's dad becomes Krampus?
Yes, and
Oh,
like
I
the
fucking
music
love
and
that one.
everything, it's like it's so good. So I've been watching that one before I go to sleep at night.
What about the American Dad where they fight Santa and they go up to the rednecks?
Yes, so that's kind of a sequel to that because they kind
Yeah,
of
no,
do
they
the
just play
same
off every year.
thing-ish. But they're kind of fighting Santa, but not really. But Santa isn't happy to see them there, so that's some funny shit though. I did like how they did. I really like American Dad more than uh Family Guy for sure.
No, American Dad is way more relatable, and like for some reason the comedy just hits better because it's not as overplayed as Family Guy, where they have to hit a certain joke a certain way, so they just
Yeah,
have more freedom on it. And then fucking Roger is a gem. Like you don't have a Roger in Family Guy, you really don't.
Roger is so perfect, especially for like all the pop culture shit nowadays. It's like, oh well, Family Guy is the perfect thing because Roger has been literally all of these things that are in pop culture now. Or to be politically correct, like Roger is that, and so it's like American Dad can just keep going because they have been completely for everything with Roger, so they can do no harm.
Yeah, no, they really played a lot on gender fluidity with Roger early on and everything. So
Exactly. So, anyway, Christmas shit though, it's a big struggle. Like, What do you do when you run out of your favorite Christmas shows or like you just can't stand watching them anymore? What do you do?
Got to watch that one with Mario Lopez. It's like Christmas in Santa Fe or something. Came out like last year or the year before. It's pretty decent.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's the basic formula of a Christmas movie, but it takes place in New Mexico.
And that's like, yes, there's always like the Hallmark stuff. I can't fucking do that. And so I'm like, do I just need to get into like Christmas horror? Which one of my favorite Christmas movies is Black Christmas.
Ooh, I
Not
don't think
the,
I've seen that one.
and it's not the 70s version, but the '06 version. I remember watching
Masterpiece?
that. Do what?
Is it a masterpiece?
Um, it's something.
I
It's
mean, for
something.
horror, because horror masterpiece is different than a regular movie. Because horror masterpiece means it's just shitty enough to keep you entertained.
Ah, I wouldn't say masterpiece, but it is just like a bad horror movie that you love to watch during Christmas, and that's how it's been for me. Like once again, it's like the Just Friends. I've been watching it since I was 15. It's like every year I change my ringtone to Sugar Plum Fairies because of that movie. But it's just so fucked up. But once again, I've seen it so many times that it's like I just turned it off. Like I didn't watch the whole thing because I know it so well. But it, oh my goodness, if you haven't seen it and you like horror movies, Black Christmas, the '06,
What about
it,
Gremlins?
it's something. Gremlins is one of my favorites.
It's a good Christmas time movie,
It is a Christmas movie for sure. It's just I love the second one more than the first one. The first one's so fucking slow.
but it's
Like
so cute. Like fucking
it gets
Gizmo is adorable, dude.
no, for sure. Gizmo is my favorite. Like Gizmo over Grogu any motherfucking day. And people who don't realize Grogu is literally Gizmo
They
with
based
the
his
like
character
the
design off
shaved.
Gizmo.
Do what?
They based his character design in his book for Grogu is Gizmo. So
It make yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they literally just use like the same mechanics. It's literally the same doll. Like this is fucking Gizmo. How is no one like realizing like we've had something this cute all along and his name was Gizmo? Um it just takes so long to get to like the good part in that movie that once again I turned it on and then turned it the fuck off because I was like, ugh, I admit that might just be ADHD issues with that.
it sounds like every time you put on a movie, you turn it off. So it might just be ADHD, Charlie.
That's well, it's also like I've just seen them 1,000 times, so I know what's going to happen. But I do watch movies better when I'm not by myself. So there is that.
Yeah, no, because like when you're by yourself, you just sit there and like you can fall into your phone, you could fall into something else, and then
Exactly.
you get up
That's
to
what
use the
I'm
bathroom and you end up in another room.
Yes, you know, you're in group chats on your phone and you go to answer something and then you're like, "Oh fuck, I'm not even watching the movie now. Might as well just turn it off because I've missed so long." And so that's what I
That's how
end
it
up
was with the
doing.
new season of The Crown. Like, it
That's one I haven't watched. It's strange to me watching a show about people who are still alive. But
are they?
I get it.
The Queen's
Well,
dead.
yeah, not anymore, right? But I was, like the ones of like way back when is okay, but like the Princess Diana age, it's like fuck,
See,
dude. Like
that's
that
that's
was
the
when
season
I
they're
was
on now, and it's kind of weird because it's like this is kind of stuff I vaguely remember.
right, and it's just kind of like you don't really know like what way they're gonna lean with that kind of stuff, and it's just like, is it gonna be kind of like the crown propaganda where it's just like no they had nothing to do with it, or is it going to be like really hard on like no they had everything to do with it? how accurate is it? I don't know. So there's that.
Do you fuck with old Christmas movies like A Wonderful Life and stuff like that?
That was one that my mom used to put on. I fucking hated that movie. Mostly because it was so fucking long. But I always enjoyed the part where they fell into the pool. But I was like, why does anyone like this movie? It's so depressing. This guy's just an asshole.
He wants to kill himself.
He was completely ungrateful. And then he's like, oh, wait, no, I actually like my wife and kids. Could I have them back?
I don't want to die. I don't want to be dead. I want to go back.
It's like, this guy kind of fucking sucks. Why do I have to like this movie? I remember liking A Miracle on 34th Street, but once again, I realized as a child I really didn't pay that much attention to movies. So I
Another
had
one that's
no idea. Like he
fucking
actually
depressing.
went to court and shit to like put his ass away. I was like, oh my god. This movie's so sad. Like why do I want to watch these as an adult? When I was a kid, I was like in and out. Didn't really pay that much attention.
Bill's asking if we've seen Scrooged. Is that the one with Bill Murray?
Yes, Scrooge. I did watch that one the other day. That is one I will watch. I will force myself to watch it, even if I don't want to.
I don't think I've seen it all the way through, to be honest.
God, it's so fucking good. Streaming on a few things right now and a few like free apps like Tubi.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no, I'll
definitely check
probably for
them
sure check
out.
it out because
The
it's
Ghost of
that season.
the Ghost of Christmas Present is my absolute favorite because she fucks him up with the toaster, and I just remember laughing my ass off my entire life at that scene. And to this day, she's my favorite. So
You know, the Christmas Carol I really liked is the one with Michael Sheen where he plays the ghost of Christmas Past.
Michael Sheen.
And I think it's Michael Sheen. He's the one that was the evil vampire, the evil blonde vampire in Twilight. But that guy played Ghost of Christmas Past one time, and it was really good. Like just the way that one looked. I remember watching it in middle school, and it was probably my favorite one I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Because you know the cartoon one with Jim Carrey,
Mm-hmm.
it looked a lot like that one, but like live action.
I don't know what that would be then. But I haven't seen many like Scrooge type movies other than Scrooged. That's it's the only one I know.
No, I'm not. This was before I started smoking weed, Bill. I'm not talking about high Christmas dreams. I've never had my own version of a Christmas Carol. At least not yet. Maybe if I do DMT on Christmas, it'll happen, but we really don't know.
God, that's just yeah, just reading it about the in the chat about Princess Diana. I had the fucking Diana beanie baby. I
Whoa.
remember that.
I think she died when my mom was pregnant with me, like a few months before I was born. So
I think it was in '98, but I can't completely remember.
what's evil saying? I want to test your theory, Jake. What theory was I talking about? A lot of dead air. Yeah. So, what's one fucked up Christmas memory you got? Like where shit just like absolutely has shit ever hit the fan at a Christmas for you? Like that you're willing to talk about?
I think I took my first shot at Christmas one year at my grandmother's house. I was like 13. That was fun. A fun Christmas. I mean, so that wasn't really fucked up, but it was just a fun thing. My dad had gotten one of the Crown Royal Christmas boxes that has like the glasses in it from a wrecker place in Snyder, because I guess he got so much shit from them that they gave him liquor for Christmas. And my dad got so fucked up, and he was always Santa. So my grandma was fucking pissed off that he was so drunk. But because I knew he was so fucked up, I took my chances and I was like, well, give me one then. And he obliged, and I took it back. And all of my like cousins and uncles were like, holy shit. Like, she took that like a champ. And of course, that was all like, from seeing it on like TV and shit like that. It's like, that's all I've seen of, like, you're not supposed to make any kind of face afterwards. And it was Crown Royal, so it wasn't the worst thing to try. Like, even though, yes, it tastes like diesel, like I could suppress any, you know, grossness I felt in my face. Um, so yeah, probably that. But then it's also like a proud feeling as well. So yeah, there's that.
The chat is calling your cranberries boozeberries.
I mean, they haven't been soaking in the alcohol that much. I don't know.
According to them, the more you munch, the more you slur. So,
Mm. Well, that's fun.
yeah, no, I don't think anyone could ever top a drunk Christmas show over what most of us saw last night, which probably is goals. Like, I want to be that sloshed on air.
I mean, maybe not on air, but for a fun weekend, I'm down. Because on air, you have to have like a certain, you have to be competent to a point. That's not always as fun.
Shit, I'm trying to think of things to talk about. Hmm.
Well,
It's good to see this side of us every once in a while. Yeah, it is. That this is why. This is why me and Charlie panic like the kids in Jurassic Park when we get left alone.
I mean, it's not that bad, but I mean, it's just, to let everyone know it's not as easy as it looks, folks.
Yeah. um.
No, Ruben, no nip slip like last night.
Yeah.
And this
No.
is from Jake.
I'm gonna deliberately expose my nipple like she was, where she was like adjusting to fucking make her shirt pop. I don't know if anyone else caught that she was doing that, but she obviously was.
I mean, it seemed after a while she was like, okay, I need to make sure it's not popping out. So,
And then she got bored, and then it was just. Oh, Elijah, it was totally intentional there, bud.
so Jake, what's your best or worst Christmas memory?
So one time, I won't disclose how old I was when this happened, but I went over to a friend's house and we were um, we were drinking on Christmas Eve because my family wasn't doing anything. So we were at her house and everyone was hanging out, and I ended up sleeping in her backyard on a trampoline and waking up in a puddle of Jack Daniel's puke. And yeah, that was a memorable Christmas because I don't remember being cold. So when I left, I know I probably wasn't driving the most sober.
Oh, that's fun. That's super great. Do you have any other like memorable gifts? Anything like that? You can like something you can actually remember, maybe?
I know that's just like my most. See, that's where we get into interesting stuff because I don't remember anything really. Let's see. There was one Christmas. I think I was probably around 10 years old, and my uncle brought like maybe 6 Marines home from California, and we got a call in the middle of the night. It was like the day before Christmas Eve that they had hit a coyote or a wolf. They didn't know what it was, and they needed to go us to go pick them up because the cops wouldn't let them leave because there's too many people in the car.
Oh.
And mind you, they were 2 hours away from Albuquerque in a town called Gallup when they did this.
Mm.
And so we get there, and they were sitting there with a cop because the cop wanted to make sure that the people who were drinking weren't driving. Because while they were sitting there waiting, they decided to go walk and get a 30 pack and were drinking on the side of the highway.
I know what else you're gonna do. You're in New Mexico, for fuck's sake.
And yeah, so when we pulled up, there was 6 drunk Marines on the side of the road. My dad ended up having to drive my uncle's car because my uncle ended up partaking with the other Marines. And yeah, that was a pretty memorable Christmas because the whole time from probably that day to the first week of January, probably around the 7th, our house was just filled with 6 Marines who were drinking all the time, teaching me how to cuss, how to do bad shit, showing me jackass and all the fun stuff. But yeah, it's probably one of my most memorable Christmases.
Damn, yeah, that sounds like a time for sure. Um, I can't help but think about a Christmas where my dog Jack went missing. We had just taken her litter mate from my sister and brother in law because they were um, living in town and she did better in a country setting. So we took her. And pretty sure she tried to murder my dog Jack by pushing her into the pool, and where she was for hours upon hours before we found her. And so like the it had just like a foot of water in it, the pool did, but still like it had snowed, and so it was very cold. We were searching for her all around, couldn't find her, and then all of a sudden I just had the thought of like, just go look in the pool, and she was fucking in there. Pulled her out, took her into the barn, and started drying her off with a hair dryer. Poor baby. Yeah, that was a
Okay,
very
so at least she
memorable
survived, right?
Christmas. Yeah, no shit,
Because
right?
I think I was thinking here you were gonna be the story of we looked under the pool cover and
No, like
there she
so
was.
we stopped winterizing the pool and just kind of left it to do its thing because in fucking West Texas we have the worst winds, and the winterized pool cover always got ripped because the winds would be so high. And so we just stopped fucking with it and let it do its thing, and it's been fine. Um so thankfully she wasn't under any covers or anything like that. She was just stuck in the pool and wasn't whining or barking or making any fucking noises to find her. She was just like, I'll just accept death. It's fine.
She was just like, "This is it."
but that's been almost 10 years now. She's 14 years old. She lived longer than the one that possibly pushed her in. So
So
there's
that's some fucking poetic justice right there. You tried to make me freeze to death, bitch. Now you're dead.
right. Like I'll just live longer than you. Um, but yeah, that shit was wild. That was a wild Christmas. But it was a white Christmas. There's that. I'm thankful that is not happening this year, but I am fearful for next year and how disgusting it's going to get because apparently it's supposed to get fucking bad.
I don't think I've ever seen a white Christmas, to be completely honest.
Really? We've had a few,
Yeah,
even a few like white Thanksgivings. We've
we've
had.
we've had snow on Thanksgiving here. We've had snow like it was fucking hilarious because there was nothing on Christmas, but the night of Christmas Day, bunch of snow. The 26th, woke up, bunch of snow. Honestly, one of the best memories ever was going with one of my ex girlfriends and her cousins to the zoo when it was just drudging snow. Like it was coming down like
Damn.
a motherfucker. And I don't know, I've never been in the zoo where it was just me and three other people and it was absolute silence because of the snow and the animals were just fucking vibing, bro.
That is something else when shit is so silent after it snows. I do love that. That is,
Yeah, no, it was fucking surreal. It still feels like a
it's
dream
so
when I think
cool.
of memories of it because it wasn't even that cold, but the snow was sticking. So it was just like a dream.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, no, it snowed a few times during my childhood for Christmas, so that is a sweet thing. Like, yes, I'm in Texas, but still, like, not not in the Panhandle, but south of it, so we still do get snow more often in the wintertime, especially than other places in Texas. But it's just so much fun, and like we got to do like a snowman one year, and that's a memory I still keep to this day, even though it happened one fucking time and it was pitiful as shit, but still we got to do it. Um, there's really nothing like it and until you have to travel for the holidays and then you fucking hate any snow or ice because here it melts and it becomes fucking ice. So it's like I'm going to die. If I come and visit you, there's a good chance I'm going to fucking lose my life to see you. So at that point, I'm like, do I really want to fucking travel? I don't
That's how it
know.
is here
So,
too. We get like that fucking solid inch layer of ice on the roads whenever it snows.
hmm it's fucking awful. And like people here do not know how to drive regardless. So they get onto the loop and shit like that, and then they kill themselves. So that's a fun thing I get to live around. So I'm like, no, am I apt to like get in the car and fucking drive? No, I'm not. Because no one here is prepared for that shit. Lubbock lives in a place where like we get a lot of ice and shit, but they don't buy the equipment to deal with that shit either. So it's just a whole bunch of shit that I'd just rather not get into at all.
You
Even
know,
when
like here,
what
people have the baldest fucking tires ever. So when it snows, it's fucking terrifying.
yeah. Like there was a blizzard here in 2015 and people who worked at the hospital had to stay there because there was no one who, who was able to leave or come to there. Like there were some people picking up employees and taking them home, but for the most part, it's like, well, you can stay in this room, but you're working 24/7 now because there's no way for anyone to travel here. So just deal with it. And I was like, holy fucking shit, like that's insane. But that's how it was. No one could travel for days. And yeah, there was nothing anyone could do
I
about it.
think I remember hearing about that on the news because like I was still in high school when that happened. So like,
Yeah. Like I opened my door and there was like 3 feet of drifts at my door. And I was like, oh, that's totally fine. That's cool. If I can't leave if I wanted to. Cool. Cool beans. That's a fun thing to feel. Just, I'm trapped. And I lost my internet during that too.
oh
So
my god, that's like World War III. Like Charlie really lived leave the world behind. You guys do not understand this. Like
it was something. Then it turns out like it just got so cold that my shit just unscrewed itself. So I could have fixed it. But I just didn't know that I could have fixed it. So there was that.
god damn it, Charlie.
That makes it so much worse. Of
It
like,
does. Like
oh my
it's like self-inflicted at that point. Never mind. Don't feel bad for Charlie, guys. She did not leave the world behind. She left her, she lived in her own mistakes, all right?
I mean, at the same time, it's like, how much do you think about, oh, did the shit just unscrew itself because it's cold? And come on. Fuck that shit. But yes, that happened.
It's Charlie's once in a lifetime storm, you guys. You don't understand.
It was a literal blizzard. Like, I'm not even fucking around. Like, it was a blizzard in Texas.
I think we got hit with the same thing. It wasn't as bad
Probably.
up here, but like I think
It was in
2015.
2015.
Wait, I think that's the fucking year I was talking about being at the zoo in the snow.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Makes sense.
2015 or 16.
It was wild that year. There was, and then like it's to the point where like there's so much overcast and then the snow that all the light reflect from it. And so at like midnight it looks like 8 p.m. because everything's all reflected from itself.
That's a that's a beautiful thing. Like snow, like Jessica said in the chat, snow is really fucking magical.
Like I took a picture at midnight and I was like, it shouldn't be this bright at midnight, and posted it on Facebook and back in 2015 because it was bright as fuck. And I was like, this is wild because I'd never experienced anything like that before.
Just a little West Texas girl, never really experiencing snow.
No, I experienced snow, but I didn't grow up in town where there's street lights.
Oh,
So, yes.
okay. Let's see what the chat's saying.
Oh man. So what's your most memorable like Christmas gift you got?
I just think back to this one year. I was probably around 4 or 5, and my parents got me a like set of like toy musical instruments, like a little toy drum set, like stuff like that, and that really kind of made me who I was for the longest time. So it's like
Aw.
one gift that really sticks with me because I remember. I don't know if you saw the drunk posting the other day on Snapchat, but I was posting all the memories of when I used to be in like metal bands and stuff that I have. So yeah, it's just kind of one thing that really stuck with me and formed my personality. That and like a little video camera they got me the same year that had like a little microphone attached to it. I used to pretend I was a reporter. So
Aw, that's so cute. I would say
what about
mine
you?
was my first bicycle that was like a legit bike that didn't have like the training wheels on it or anything. And it was also the same year I realized Santa wasn't real.
How old were you when you realized that?
How 8 to 10 is probably how old I was. because my dad had covered it in like one of his like army canvases he had gotten from a supply store sort of thing. So I was like,
I saw you buy that.
y'all do this. This is you. This is all your shit. Um, so it wasn't anything that hurt or it wasn't anything dramatic, but I was like, already, my dad had already ruined the
You
tooth fairy.
fucking lied to
Right.
me!
He had already ruined the tooth fairy for me, so I was like, oh, it's like the tooth fairy sort of thing. I don't give a shit as long as I'm getting stuff. Why the fuck am I gonna care who gives it to me? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, like I
I
think I
don't
stopped
care.
believing. Oh, I just accidentally kicked my tripod. Holy shit. Um, I think I stopped believing around 8, but I milked it till 12 because it's like if I just pretend, if I just pretend that it will still get me shit, okay? And I did. I got a pretty nice guitar out of it one year and
That's hilarious.
a bass that I still use. So
Well, as long as you fucking use it, that's what matters. And yeah, like with the bike, I used that for so long, and like, yeah, no, it didn't matter, but I do love the story of like my nieces on how they found out Santa wasn't real, and it was because they were giving my sister and brother-in-law shit, and my brother-in-law couldn't stand it anymore, and he was like, "Santa's not real." It's like, I give you all this stuff. It's from me. So that shit makes me laugh really hard. But no, I was thankfully uh I was old enough to realize it myself.
did
But
you guys
but
do mall Santas growing up?
no,
Did you guys
since
do like,
we didn't grow up in a town that had a mall or anything
or
like
was it
that.
like bait
No.
shop Santa?
No, we literally didn't take any pictures with Santa because like we didn't live in a place where they did that normally. And so it was just not something that was available to us unless my mom made it a thing, and we would go shopping, but it wasn't to do anything like that. Like she didn't fuck around with shit like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I am thankful for because I had stranger danger as a child, and I think she knew like this is going to be a fucking nightmare for me.
Hold
None
on,
of my
Charlie. You
kids
just
like
broke Bill's
like
heart.
this shit. I did.
Yeah,
How's that?
he didn't know Santa wasn't real.
No. But no, I didn't like strangers growing up as a child, so my mother taking me to a Santa thing would end up in me
Charlie kicked Mall Santa in the balls.
having a fucking just a complete meltdown. Like I wouldn't even like go to my own grandmother at holidays because it was basically when I saw her. It's just like no, 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 no.
I
This
don't
is
know
not going to be
you.
cute. This is going to be traumatic, completely traumatic. Just don't do this. And she picked the right thing, and I appreciate that.
Oh my god, Nicole.
Um,
That's what I was gonna talk about. I was gonna say the same mall Santa when I was growing up was the same guy from my first Santa picture to my last Santa picture. So when I was little, I was convinced like Santa was real and he was the real Santa. So like it just fucking worked.
oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, no, Christmas is the one time where you can talk about like the adorable childhood memories and be like, oh,
We would go and like look at different houses that were decorated in town though. That was a
oh,
big thing.
that was when would you guys do it?
I don't know if there was a set time.
Because for my
Um,
family, we would do it on New Year's Eve or not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, because for Christmas Eve here in Albuquerque, they do Illuminati tour. where like a
Mm.
bunch of neighborhoods set up luminarias and everyone decorates their lights and all that. And so we would like follow the buses that did the Luminaria tour on the route. There'd be a bunch of cars doing it too, and everyone would just be
Mhm.
looking at the Luminarias, listening to Christmas music, and that'd be Christmas Eve for us. And it was always so fun.
Yeah. Like nowadays, like people have a lot more interactive stuff that you can do, like with the radio station type
Those are cool.
interactive lights and whatnot. But I absolutely loved as a child just seeing houses that even just had the plainest lights. I loved it. And this wasn't every single time, but I do remember one time my parents were arguing and my mom was like, "We're going to like look at lights now." So it was that's what I remember. It's like my mom being pissed and putting us all in the car so she could leave the house and have something to do for a while.
See, for us too, like my uncle would just be in the because he was in the military, so the only time he'd be home really was for Christmas. So like he'd be in the back seat with me talking shit about everything that he saw with a Sonic cup filled with Jack Daniels and Coke, just having the time of his life. And that was like favorite Christmas Eve memories because we had a minivan, so like the whole family was in there.
I have nothing to say to that, but holy shit, like, right? Like as a kid, you're like, this is the best thing ever. As an adult, you're like, that was a little fucked up. I could have not known a lot of those details, but it is what it is. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, no, like my uncle would we drive by a house and he'd be like, "You can tell that guy's gay,"
Oh god.
and then just be like, "How, Michael? How he put up the lights?"
I mean, but then again, what else are uncles for? Like, especially ones that are like, closer to your age. What else are they for? It could have been way worse if they were like non-vets who would be like, that reminds me of the time I blew up an entire village.
Holy
Could have been
shit,
that.
Charlie!
I'm just saying, it could have been fucking that.
Yeah, no, he was only like he was around my age actually, like currently. So, and I was probably around 10, 9. So it was fun.
Right? Like my uncle who was in Vietnam told me how to make a fucking like Cuban necktie. That's what he fucking taught me. That wasn't even Christmas. It was just, you can make a human tie from slicing someone's throat and ripping their tongue out of it. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
You're just like, well, was it a little Santa tie?
That's totally something I should know at my age.
All right, well, I've had fun with you tonight, Charlie. Bill's texting us.
It's like, for fuck's sake.
You guys are embarrassing. No, he's not saying that. But yeah, no. I'm Jake. It's Charlie,
I'm Charlie.
and this has been Nooner Nation. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Pow, 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 pow.
And yeah, we're just kind of waiting for the sign off now. We have no control over that one, so
I guess we can't. I mean, we could leave. Is
we can just
leaving
say
the same
whatever we
thing?
want now. We love you guys. We love you in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for a great year of support.
And no womb, I didn't suck up the Jolly Green Giant. It's fucking festive. It's Christmas. Go fuck yourself.
I was hoping you'd see that one.